Executive heads of states, an essential subject from Vinipedia. The conception of one world state can only be fulfilled if we can follow the infallible authority. And imperfect executive heads of states cannot create an ideology acceptable to everyone. Only the perfect and the infallible executive heads of states can create a program which is applicable at every place and can be followed by all in the world. It is the person who rules and not the impersonal government. If the person is perfect, the government is perfect. That is the law of nature. There are so many stories of imperfect kings or executive heads. Therefore, the executive head must be a trained person like Maharya Yudhishthira, and he must have the full autocratic power to rule over the world. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinikote's Executive Heads of States category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 9 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. A living being is meant for service activities and his desires are centered around such a service attitude. Beginning from the top executive head of the state down to the insignificant pauper in the street, all are rendering some sort of service to others. The perfection of such a service attitude is only attained simply by transferring the desire of service from matter to spirit, or from Satan to God. Armad Bh Gavatam 2.1. 15. The people's government, or government by the people, should not allow killing of innocent animals by the sweet will of foolish government men. They must know the codes of God, as mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Maharya Parkayat quotes here that according to the codes of God the irresponsible king or state executive jeopardizes his good name, duration of life, power and strength and ultimately his progressive march towards a better life and salvation after death. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.17.1011. An executive head should not be callous to the welfare of the general mass of people while he simply goes on collecting taxes. The king's real duty is to see that the citizens gradually become fully Krishna conscious. Krishna conscious means completely free from all sinful activities. As soon as there is complete eradication of sinful activities in the state, then there will be no more war, pestilence, famine or natural disturbances. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.20. 14. As the Brahmas and Vipras had a right to be subsidized by the state executive head had the right to collect taxes and fines from the citizens. After the Battle of Kurukshetra the state treasury was exhausted, and therefore there was no surplus fund except the fund from tax collection and fines. Such funds were sufficient only for the state budget, and having no excess fund, the king was anxious to get more wealth in some other way in order to perform the horse sacrifice. Maharya Yudhishthira wanted to perform this sacrifice under the instruction of Bh Madhava. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.12. 32. The Asuras want to enjoy a life of sense gratification, even at the cost of others' happiness. In order to fulfill this ambition, the Asuras, especially atheistic kings or state executive heads, try to equip themselves with all kinds of deadly weapons to bring about a war in a peaceful society. They have no ambition other than personal aggrandizement, and thus Mother Earth feels overburdened by such undue increases of military strength. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.16. 24. If all people became Krishna conscious they would vote for persons of the category of Dhruva Maharya. If the post of chief executive were occupied by such a Vyava, all the problems of satanic government would be solved. The youthful generation of the present day is very enthusiastic in trying to overthrow the government in different parts of the world. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.9. 66. Saintly kings were properly trained, and as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita also, the science of God, or the yoga system of devotional service known as Bhagavad Gita, was spoken to the saintly king of the sun planet, and gradually it descended through the Kshatriya kings who were generated from the sun and the moon. If the head of the government is saintly, certainly the citizens become saintly, and they are very happy because both their spiritual and physical needs and hankerings are satisfied. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.9. 65. In Kali Yuga the kings and heads of state enjoy life at the cost of taxes exacted from the citizens. Such unfair taxation makes the people dishonest, and the people try to hide their income in so many ways. Eventually the state will not be able to collect taxes and consequently will not be able to meet its huge military and administrative expenses. Everything will collapse and there will be chaos and disturbance all over the state. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.16. 7. A real Kshatriya never surrenders. He accepts the challenge of his rival Kshatriya, and he fights either to die or to win. Surrender isn't known to a real Kshatriya. In the age of Kali there are so many pretenders dressed and posed like administrators or executive heads, but their real identity is disclosed when they are challenged by a real Kshatriya. Therefore when the artificially dressed personality of Kali saw that to fight Maurya Parkayat was beyond his ability, he bowed down his head like a subordinate and gave up his royal dress. Armad Bh Gavatam 1.179